Hello, welcome back to I Am Not a Hypochondriac. Can you please tell me if this is a bone or a tumor? I do jokes on the internet. I don't know medicine. I know that you're not supposed to drink the entire Benadryl bottle. Maybe about half is okay usually. Tik Tok, a website forged in spite and rage by a fallen angel after God banished it from heaven for not reaping enough revenue through AdSense. The doctor said that I have to spend less time talking about TikTok because every hour I spend on that app, it elevates my blood pressure. And in due time, I will be at risk of being popped like a water balloon by anti-homeless architecture. Even though I don't like this application all that much, it is unavoidable. Every moment I spend in solace, it is training, growing stronger, becoming proficient in another weapon. There are about 1 billion users on TikTok, all of them too far gone to be saved, and I am one of the mindless pack. But I am not mindless when it comes to my politics. Yeah, I'm kind of like the Noam Chomsky of YouTube shorts. You know, interpret that how you will. If you dislike Noam Chomsky, look at the man. He's essentially a crumbling Greek pantheon. He is on his last legs. This is the warped face of a man who waited long enough to see manufacturing consent become IDF TikTok girls, and now his soul has wilted. Politics and social media have a long-standing hatred-rooted Gen Xer marriage of sorts. There is no worse place to have a thought than TikTok, but even so, there are people on that app that all people who have retained a base amount of rationality in these trying times disagree with. And today we're going to be talking about one of those people. He's what I might like to call a white supremacist and a bad person, but what others might call a misguided teen with a good heart and probably only an amount of guns in the single digits. So let's just get into this. We're going to be debunking, we're going to be riffing, we're going to be nervous about demonetization. Listen, Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you subscribe right now, I will get an I'm with her tattoo. Where? You decide. How are you all doing today? I am feeling dainty and ill. I am sick, not just of reactionaries, but physically. It is not COVID. They told me you can't give Delta to an Alpha. I'm a Beta, to transparency. So today we're going to be talking about a TikTok account I found. Radicalization in general seems to just be happening more and more nowadays. Because, you know, people are just becoming more and more polarized because shit is getting ridiculous. A lot of commentary YouTubers would take this time to be like, oh, you know, I think far in either direction, you know, it's bad. I think that going far left is better than going far right. I'll say that one right now. I'll say it loud and proud. Why did I salute? Going far left. So you gotta salute the military. That's what being far left is all about. So a classic thing that the alt-right, not the it's the alternative right, but they're not like alternative. They're like alternative. The alt-right has been known for co-opting a lot of memes and a lot of meme language, you know, Pepe, the OK sign, whatever, to try to recruit young people into their ranks. But for the most part, you don't run across a lot of alt-right people just randomly across like Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, if you're not looking for them. But this guy just showed right up on my front doorstep, and I'm gonna show you guys the video, the video that showed up on my For You page here. So this account is called YoungZoomerV.5, version 5, been banned 4 times, already has a backup, number 6. Do not go and visit this profile. So I don't know if this person is a child or an adult masquerading as a child. Young Zoomer is perhaps the most like 2 kids in a trench coat way to say, yeah, I'm a child. I don't see any Gen Z folks necessarily branding themselves as Gen Z. They're pretty embarrassed about it. I'm not embarrassed. I'm proud. I'm a proud member. I'm a proud citizen of Gen Z Nation. It's like Drama Alert Nation, but it's with Gen Z. All right, this is the first video that showed up here. You ready for this?
Is that not my culture?
You don't have a fucking culture!
I don't?
No, you don't!
Oh!
We're fucking white, we don't have a goddamn fucking culture!
Oh, Lord fucking forgive me. It just keeps going. Yeah, this one rolls for a second. This one, oh, of course, babies. Babies are white culture. You know, babies. Oh, another child. Apparently, children are white culture. There is something worth fighting for. So that's of course, like, you know, don't let them distract you. Like, remember what you're fighting for. This is all like very, you know, run of the mill. Like, I'm a white supremacist. I believe minorities are inferior language. Oh, geez. Oh, oh, YouTube. I see your fingers hovering over that demonetization button. Could I interest you in shaking my hand, reaching across the aisle and shaking my hand, in a show of political togetherness? We could be together. We could be friends. I'd implore you to consider this. It's not difficult to explain what's going on here, which is you got the soy Wojak at the beginning. Of course, they chose a generally progressive white man with glasses and a beard, because glasses and a beard are nerds things, and those are, I used to beat up kids on the playground who look like that. This guy, he was pulled straight out of a locker so that he could film this video. You know how it goes. It was difficult to get him to arrive to the shoot because he had his lunch money stolen, so he couldn't take the bus. But I digress. So the argument, of course, goes that white people don't have culture. Look at all of these things. Look at marble statue and painting and army helmet and satellite, which, you're not going to believe this, is not white culture. It's so funny because whenever like a reactionary does this thing where they're like, white people don't have culture, well then look at this. It's always like a Renaissance painting, which is funny because that's not what I associate with white culture. If I made this video, I'd be like, so white culture doesn't exist? Here's a Stouffer's lasagna and a DVD copy of like Everybody Loves Raymond season 1. Ugh. So white people don't have any culture? Somebody hasn't seen the Minions movie. It's just ridiculous to think that this is what they default to. The technological developments they show in this video, of course, it goes without mentioning that a satellite was not just sent up to space with only white people working on it. That's not how anything works. You know, for like some of the old stuff where it's like, yes, a European definitely made this sculpture. It's like, okay, yeah, it's a European sculpture. For a fighter jet? You're gonna tell me that only white people did that. You're gonna tell me only white people did fighter jets. You guys can have that one. I'm not gonna. You guys can take that. It's all yours. It's so funny because this also like implies that like other cultures do this. So I mean, if you don't know, the reason that people say that white people don't have culture is because like racially, white people do not have like a monolithic culture. On the other hand, why we would say that black people have culture is because black people globally, and especially in America, you know, culturally African Americans, they are united by the experience of oppression, of anti-blackness. And in America, since they were so directly stripped of their heritage through slavery, they have that cohesive black American culture, even if they're not all from the same country necessarily, right? White people don't have that. Okay, here's an example. If somebody said like, ready for this video about white culture, and then they showed like lederhosen, and then spaghetti, and then pizza, and then they showed fish and chips, you would be like, what's going on here? And of course this person, Young Zoomer V.5, renowned scholar, they have like a baby koala strength grip on just the idea that they're not wrong and they refuse to let go. But yeah, this just doesn't make any sense. You grouping together all of these things as just a homogenous effort of the white race is completely ridiculous and incredibly racist. Yeah, and of course that there is something worth fighting for, probably referring to, you know, a variety of things, most likely like they're destroying our culture, so we need to protect it. Just really generally gross, icky, and cringe. Okay, all right, let's go to another TikTok here. Our president, king emoji, with Joe Biden falling down the stairs. I don't like Joe Biden either. Suck my dick and ball. What happened to the other one? This one is very important because like they're trying to use like a meme format to reach a younger audience, right? Okay, so United States race and ethnicity. He's laughing, and then the white starts going down and he starts crying because doesn't it suck when less white people? Crazy take here. It doesn't suck when less white people. That's fine. Yeah, so this one is pretty obvious, you know. Really pathetic attempt at like trying to hide conspiracism about like white people being replaced and whatnot. To be clear, like everybody in the comments is hating on this guy. When a white supremacist content get to normal people, all of them are like, oh, this is an insane person. This is not how the world works. This person hates minorities. And you know, the video itself has 91,000 likes. So first of all, second of all, it has 1.9 million views. So a 1 in 19 like ratio when the app is specifically trying to push your video towards people who will watch it, that's not great. Thank God, but still 91,000 people is too many people, and you'd probably expect a lot of these people to be people who don't fully understand what's going on, right? Let's look up TikTok age demographics. Okay, 25% of TikTok's active user accounts in the US are people aged 10 to 19. 22.4% of their users are 20 to 29. So that's like almost 50% under 29 years old, and at least 25% 19 or under. This is an incredibly impressionable audience that is being algorithmically shown this content. And of course, we're lucky that this got onto the For You pages of people who have like, you know, maybe read one book, done a flashcard set once, thought for more than 15 seconds about any subject. Yeah, I mean, the comments here are damning. Uses song made by Black American and uses Hispanic man footage. Like, These people are walking contradictions. Not very smart. I'm gonna get into conspiracism here. I assume what this person thinks here. I assume that this person is a full-on raging anti-Semitic who believes that Jewish people are in positions of power and are like trying to open the borders and like destroy the white race by letting brown people in. That's what I can assume, just based on like a few videos. But let's watch some more, because, you know, I like to be charitable. Not every white supremacist is a bad guy. Some of them... Just go out, have a beer with them, you know? Maybe your mind will change. Maybe the white supremacy isn't a deal breaker, you know? You're so shallow nowadays. You need to reach across the aisle. Ah! That's just how I feel about when a liberal talk to me. Okay, this next one is a little disconcerting. This is literally just a clip of like a race realist and a white supremacist destroying somebody in an argument. So let's just show it.
I know very well our founding fathers were slave owners, and I know
Yeah,
very well that they probably did not imagine that America would be today
Okay.
what it is.
They
However,
would have been appalled by the idea. Furthermore, what you're saying is somehow whites were about to choke to death on their own homogeneity when people like yourself kindly arrived in diversity and saved us from ourselves. No. We built a wonderful country that your ancestors could not have been. That is why people like you come here. And the more you come in larger numbers, you will change the country my ancestors built into something else. And it is completely normal for me to wish to approve.
Okay, well, they do put like the alpha male music after it. A few words about this guy. He looks like he has the skull of a sloth, but the skin of a human. Just a real slimy bastard. Yeah, this is just the worst timeline of Clint Eastwood. You know, I hate how, like, surgically all of these people talk. They talk like they're giving a dissertation, when all of it is completely, objectively, like, anti-academic, anti-intellectual. It's just stupid. Holy shit, guys. Enough dust coagulated to be animated into a human. That's who this guy is. Was that weak? I can't tell. His forehead was buffed and polished before this interview so that, of course, his cranium could be shown off as much as possible. You know, that massive pulsing brain that's underneath there. I like how pompous he looks. You know, by the end, he's like, you see, white people could do all of this and you couldn't do any of it. When really, like, okay, so let's lay out some things here. White people were able to, like, do all of this shit he's talking about because they exploited and, like, stomped on non-white people. Like, they colonized and then they exploited these people. So this point here that white people are somehow superior because they were able to develop things like first or faster, it's really a product of circumstance, of like white supremacy being developed in the first place, you know? Like, they were able to develop technology because they stole the resources from other people, and then those other people weren't able to develop the technology because not only were they being stolen from, they were being killed, or they were being kidnapped and taken away into slavery, or any other variety of like horrors that colonization bred. This is the outlook of like white people were destined to do all of these things, when in reality it's just like product of circumstance that white people culturally were the ones who like ended up deciding to like dominate and horrifically torture so many other cultures. Yeah, because colonization was super fucked up. Let's just go and let's watch like one more of this guy's TikToks, because I don't want to make this video too long. I don't want to get into it. But I think we can sort of... Sorry, somebody I'm talking to on Hinge just said the police flopped. Yeah, the police flopped. Yeah, community-oriented crime solutions outsold for... Yeah, so this is an interesting strategy that that, you know, reactionaries, white supremacists, Nazis will use to try to get you on their side. So it's a pit bull, an IDF soldier, and a libertarian. This makes it really hard for people to see like where you stand ideologically, right? Because it's a pit bull, you know, this is just sort of like generic, like, oh, pit bulls are violent dogs, you know, maybe like you're kind of an asshole, but you can't fully tell where you're going from there. IDF soldier, you're like, okay, so you're against the IDF. Like, why are you against the IDF? Is it because they're connected to a state that's like committing atrocities against Palestinian people? We don't know, but we can assume safely no. And then of course they decide to diss libertarians too, so you're thinking, are they talking about right-wing libertarians? Are they talking about left-wing libertarians? What's happening here? Really what they're saying is like, I have a terrible outlook on life, and I think that pit bulls are violent animals that should probably be put down. That's what I'm assuming they're saying there. IDF soldier is saying that the IDF is part of Israel. Israel is probably ruled by like Jewish people, or the global elite is probably what they think. So that's why they're bad. And libertarians do not want an authoritarian state. Why do I think that they think this? Well, let's just mosey on over to another one of their fucking stupid posts. This is a, oh my god, caveman. A caveman made this account. I hate them. I'm doing fine. Here's the post. So, you know, it's the virgin beta, you know, in the on the left or in the libertarian right. And of course, the Chad in the authoritarian right, that's bad. That is a bad thing. The authoritarian right is a terrible place to be. Now, I'm not going to touch on how, like, reductive the political compass is, but if somebody's in the authoritarian right, thumbs down. That's bad. That's not a good place to be. Don't be there. You can see, like, some of it is more subtle, some of it is less subtle. You know, like the IDF soldier one, that could go over some people's heads. But these videos are all racking up views to some extent, and some of those views are definitely going to be hitting impressionable people who don't understand, you know, what's right or what's wrong. This stuff is dangerous. It can lead to radicalization. If I were you, and I'm not going and like making a call out saying like, hey, go do this, because why would I ever do that? Wouldn't it be like targeted harassment and bullying? Ew. If I were somebody and I saw this type of account, hypothetically, I would probably like go and report it for like hate speech or something, because this seems incredibly dangerous. Yeah, I would probably report this account. I would probably go to report. I would go report account. I would probably see, you know, posting inappropriate content, you know, hate speech. You know, I would probably do something like that, because, you know, this is an incredibly vile and hateful account that will, you know, be reaching young people on this application, and I don't want that to happen. But I mean, you know, everybody else can do what they want. You know, that's just if I was somebody else. And like, honestly, I would never make a call to like mass report an account and also their backup. Also, don't show this to this person, because I do not want this person anywhere near me. This is a disgusting cyst on humanity that is existing on the digital cesspool of TikTok. I do not want a word spoken to me by them, and I don't want any of you having to experience this person coming up on your For You page. You know, there have been other instances, you know, in my time on social media where accounts like this have come up, and just seeing this stuff, you know, it breaks my heart, because I don't want kids to be exposed to this at all. Yeah, I think, you know, I've said what I needed to say. Sorry if this video wasn't as funny, but I wanted to make a video on this because this was ridiculous, and also people will click on videos when it has TikTok in the thumbnail and the title, and also I got to talk about something that's important. Yeah, I'd say I'm done. All of you have a wonderful night. You know, this is not the end of the world. Life goes on. We can all, you know, build support and power and love amongst ourselves, and, you know, protect each other from the horrifying shit that is happening, you know, elsewhere in the world. Take care of yourselves. Take care of others. Be kind to yourself and be kind to others. Remember that you are loved by somebody, you know, like nebulously, not necessarily me. I can't, you know, personally state love to just like everybody, but, you know, you are loved. As always, it has been a pleasure. If you are so inclined, go support my Patreon if you want access to some extra content / side content from some of the videos. And if you want to send in fan art, I'm going to be doing fan art roundups at the end of like my Tuesday videos now, because I think that'll be cute. Yeah, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all later. Bye.